Hello and a very warm welcome to Talking Germany, the show where we do just that. And my guest today is somebody who has, for 2 decades now, been among the top rappers here in Germany. And here he is, Smudo.
Thank you, Mr. Craven.
Thank you for joining us today. Yeah? Great pleasure. Now, Smudo is part of the premier German hip-hop act, the Fantastic Four, Die Fantastischen Vier in German. They were the pioneers of hip-hop here in the country, and they've managed to stay ahead of the rest of the pack for 20 years or so. OK, Smudo, I'm a journalist. I've got to put my cards on the table. I am a great fan of Die Fantastischen Vier, the Fantastic Four.
I can understand that.
You can understand that. Hey, we're calling you a hip-hop act, yeah? Is that true, or is there more to it than that?
Well, hip-hop actually defined is a broad thing. It's what we do basically is rap music with German lyrics. That's what I say. I think sounds the best. Hip hop music. There's a lot of very fundamentalist music fans who tend to say hip hop cannot be hip hop if it's too pop, because we're a pop band too. Since we've been successful for quite some time. But I think rap music, because rap is what we do. We don't sing. We like to talk in a rhythm way over beats.
And this is something that way back when you picked up from members of the US forces down in the southwest of Germany, where you come from.
That's right. I think there's a big influence of Allied Forces culture in Germany in general. You can see when you go to the former French sector, for example. And in Stuttgart, where we come from, was American sector, and there have been a lot of GIs, big camps. And the soldiers went. They also had their music with them. They were playing them in discotheques and clubs inside the Stuttgart city, where everybody was invited to come to. And so these were the places where my friends and I hanged out, and we were listening to rap music that we couldn't get in Germany, or maybe from some import shops where we bought them for a lot of money. And then we saw live rapping, and the way they were scratching was all the live hip-hop was happening in the clubs. And then we picked it up and put it in our cultural context, basically. But it took some years, but that's what we did. Life like a fairy tale.
Life like a fairy tale. Well, let's go back to your early days again. We talked about, you picking up the music from members of the US forces. What was your motivation back then? Were you trying to be cool? Were you trying to change the world? Were you trying to make money? What was it all about?
Well, I was a teenager, and I wanted to be different from everybody else, and that was my basic teenage attitude. I liked rap music a lot. Before that, I totally loved the soul records my dad brought from he had some time serving in the military, German military in the US, and he had some Temptations records and also Johnny Cash. He was a big Johnny Cash fan. But I picked up all the soul music, and I really liked rap music when I heard it from the beginning with Grandmaster Flash, for example, and then I heard that there's a lot more rap music in these GI clubs. And then when we were trying to do also, it helped a lot that we were computer geeks. We were programming our own beatboxes and the drum software, and also Andy, who's a hardware doer, he was building and our own beatbox to make our own rap music. So we liked the computer approach, and we liked the urban street style thing, and also that's a cool thing, and we just liked the beats. And then we loved hip hop music, and it was a play. We were trying to do it, and why we were trying to imitate rap music or just build rap music like we thought we maybe can do it. Then we found out that it has no future if we just be the singing fans from somebody else. We want to develop something own, and the first step was to do it in our own mother tongue, and also in our own cultural context. We are not a New York, Manhattan street band. We are middle-class kids in Germany. So let's talk about our subjects, which apparently is a fairy tale.
Yeah. OK, you've been innovative all along. That's clear. That's been one of the secrets of your success. And only recently, it's not long ago, you did you became the first band in the world to do a 3D concert that was transmitted to how many movie theatres?
The 3D show has been broadcasted live into 91 movie theaters. This is the world premiere. This is not the first 3D live show, the 3D show, but live cutting and being broadcast into 5 different countries and on one evening. It was a single one-shot event with only 1 day of rehearsal for this, and this happened just a couple of days ago. And this is a world premiere thing, absolutely.
Is it the future?
I think so. Well, not now, because it's much too expensive. It actually came from a project, a big project, a Middle German fundraise project to show what you can do with professional 3D equipment.
It's a real
today.
research project. Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's it is not it's totally out of budget, totally. But I think it will be, because it's not a big stage. We have been playing in a small club, and even when you're in the audience, you're more anonymous than here, because we had the Steadicam on stage, high definition 3D pictures over the shoulder into the audience, and you can see if my nails were clean. And somebody said, "Mate, it was so funny. I was feeling like I could look in the inside of your ear, because the Steadicam was right there," and so you get a special intimate view. And I think if a band like the Eagles would do a Stonehenge show in front of 40 people, and the whole world can be live broadcasted only for this one night, you can be there and sit just beside them and see and watch them play. I think this is going to be a very, very important thing, especially for international bands.
Sounds great. Smudo, for or against?
Yeah, well, it's difficult for me, because all I know about the project, a totally mammoth project, is what I read in the paper, and it is a very controversial thing. Absolutely, very expensive.
Listen, you come from Stuttgart originally. Yes. You must know a lot of people down there. Everybody in Germany is talking about it. Why are emotions running so high?
Actually, this is something I really don't know, because this project has been planned from the beginning of the 90s, when I was still living down there. Well, it was a lot of talk in the paper, and now they are die reißen den Bahnhof ab.
Yeah, they're tearing the station down.
Yes,
and it was a popular building in Stuttgart.
Absolutely. Yeah? Well, yeah, it's not the most beautiful building in the world.
But people somehow feel very fond of it.
I think it's a mixture of the total legit protest for these high expensive and the very, very shaky plans, because there are a lot of uncertainties in this project. I think this is legit, but also I think emotions are running really, really high, because it's good to have something to protest about. I think it's no. I'm not trying to.
That sounds cynical.
Yeah, maybe that's my nature. I'm not trying to make this a funny thing. It's a very serious subject.
Yeah, sure.
But the really high going emotions are really surprising me, especially for the Stuttgart nature. So I'm looking for reasons, and I think maybe this is such a controversial thing that they have to, that people can really believe that they are doing this. So
listen, you must have had calls from people in Stuttgart. You're from down that way. The band is originally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. People must have tried to get you, the Fantastische Vier, involved.
We got a mail every once in a while and say why you're not engaged into the protest. We're not a political band, and I think the time is not right to be engaged right now. I think the protest movement is really, really, really big. They don't need external support right now. It's been discussed on highest political level. And let's see how things develop. There will be a lot of water running down the Neckar River. and let's see how things develop, and if there is maybe sooner or later, I don't know, but not right now.
Give me a yes or no answer. Is the station going to be built?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Mm-mm. Fascinating. Now, I was just saying to Smudo that I am a car person, but what I like about those electro cars, they call it e-mobility, and it's very quiet. I like that about it. Yeah?
No sound. Yeah, well, I'm doing motor racing for 10 years now on the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and we're using alternative fuels, biodiesel mostly. Also, there's bioethanol and gas cars. And electric cars are a very, very interesting subject. We've been racing the Renault Trophy on biodiesel this year, and there's a lot of ideas for next year's season. An electrical car is an option, but with diesel and also electricity, from racing, I like the sound of a car. I like the engine.
I can tell you come from Baden-Württemberg, where there's Mercedes-Benz and Porsche. This is what you grew up with. It's car country.
I think, for my feeling, a good race has to have good sounds. But if you look in the Le Mans races, where they have the Audi totally dominating them with the diesel cars, when they pass by, all you hear is the turbo sucking the air from the outside.
Is biodiesel competitive?
It's one of a lot of options that maybe will work out or will not. I think you have to look at this that way. If Daimler or Diesel, the people inventing the engines, they would turn around in their graves if they would hear that we're still driving with the same technology. And it needs some time. It needs another 20, 30, 40, 50 years maybe until we find a technology that can work out as a mass product. And biodiesel has a lot of interesting options, also had a lot of things that don't work out. But fossil petrol also has a lot of disadvantages. Sure. Corruption and political instability in the world. So sooner or later we have to use alternatives. And electricity is a very, very promising subject right now. Okay,
I've got to ask you while I've got you here, you've also got a pilot's license, yeah?
Yes.
Have you got it with you?
Yes, I have it
You've got your pilot's
in my wallet. It's not right here, but it's not. It's a small piece
pilot's
of paper,
license is just like a little driving license.
It looks funny because it looks like you can do it with a photocopy machine. You can do it yourself. It looks really. It's not a very sensational thing. It's just a piece of paper with a stamp on it.
But you didn't fly down here today.
No, and unfortunately they closed Tempelhof, which was a very popular general aviation
airport. Our wonderful inner city airport.
General aviation airport. For general aviation, there's in Berlin actually there's not a really good place. That's also a controversial subject.
Smudo, is that typically German, that you pack people off to a college to teach them how to learn to design games like that?
I don't know if it's typically Germany. I mean, a game design school actually with computer games is something people would maybe think that is in the States. I think that's the special thing here in Germany, because it's an international industry making games, and most of them come from Japan or from the United States, and very seldom an international product's been launched here from Germany. Maybe that school will change things.
You know what you're talking about, because you have designed at least one video game, or is it more than
when
one?
I was 17.
When you were 17?
When I was 17, like a lot of teenage nerds, I was having my computer, was programming in BASIC programming language by the time, but also assembling language of some processors, and I had one or two small successes, and a magazine published a game for me once. And
so there were other people playing it. It wasn't just for your own pleasure, as it were.
That's actually my goal was to be a game designer, which I didn't become. But that's okay.
Then you got sidetracked.
Yeah, actually, it's okay like this. Very much.
You've got two kids. Yeah.
Yes.
One is very, very young.
Yeah,
one is 3 years old.
They're
both girls, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is the 3-year-old already playing computer video games?
She's playing on my iPhone. Yes, yeah. She likes it. It's a nice device you can play with your finger, and there's very, very nice toddler games on it. Having a puzzle or a memory thing, she's getting that also, and it's a nice thing. And I think actually she's learning. She's learning from it. She's
learning. Because there are a lot of people, obviously, of the older generation and the conservative persuasion who say that children playing all these games, you know, they're being distracted, they're becoming addictive, they're becoming restless.
Well, my dad told me when he was a teenager he liked to listen to the radio plays. Yeah. And the older generation said, don't listen to the radio too much, it makes you stupid. And the same with video, television or cinema, and it's also with new technology. And of course the conservative side in the society says so. But like it's a media, it's an art form. So it reflects what's happening in the society. And there is violence in the society, but there's only love in society and technology, all kinds of things, and it's all in the media. It's in movies and it's in games. And most of the games are non-violent. Far than 90% are non-violent. And gaming is in a human's nature. This is why it's do you think it would be $1 billion industry if nobody would like to game, to play? I don't think so.
Interesting stuff from Smudo there. The world according to Smudo on video games. And I've been writing a blog about Smudo and my other guests here on the programme. You can find out about it all on the Talking Germany website. Have a look.
If you're into Talking Germany, you can find out more on the internet. Your host, Peter Craven, is keeping a blog on the many shows and guests in the series. Find out more about what happens behind the scenes, gossip, experiences, how the whole show is put together. Just visit blog.dw-world.de/talkinggermany, and you can tell us what you think about the programme there too.
Quick quiz time, Smudo. We're going to do it really quickly. Do your friends call you Smudo or Michael B. Schmidt?
Smudo, most of them.
Okay. Chess or video game? I know you like chess.
Oh, I like both. I would say chess.
We're running out of time. I can hear the music. Last question. Hip-hop, is it on the wane or is it still relevant?
It's on the way. Well, it's a classic.
No,
we
not
always quote it.
on the way, you're saying.
Oh,
I'm saying
way.
on the way. You're saying on the way. It's on the way.
On the way.
He's been a great guest. The intellectual rapper, Smudo. If you've enjoyed his company as much as I have, come back next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.